I did not know that.
Yeah. I got really all of this was like pretty cheap. That like I would say like $500 for like my whole arm.
Damn.
It was like four different tattoos or whatever. But yeah, not too bad, not too bad. I got it from like up and coming tattoo artists and everything, like out of their house. Super sketchy
Oh,
situations, but I mean, got it done at the end of the day. So
we've all been there before.
yeah, definitely. Um, but yeah, speaking of basketball again, I've been watching it a little bit. I've been trying to keep up. The playoffs is so much like better for me to be able to actually keep up with what's going on and everything.
Hmm.
The like all of these like young teams that are out there right now that I can't really keep up with their names. Like most of them, I have no idea who I'm watching really, but
Yeah.
I know now for sure that OKC. I think OKC's in the lead, though. I mean, after watching everybody, I know they just played Memphis. Memphis, I know they're your team and everything, but they just went through some things with their coaches, right? They just
Yeah.
fired their coach before the playoffs.
Yeah, so they fired their head coach. Jaw also got hurt in game three whenever they were up by like 26 points. And then after Jaw got hurt and they went to halftime, they lost the game that they were up 26 points at half. So, that hurt him a lot. And then they didn't have Ja Morant at all for game four, so that really fucked with them too. I think the Grizzlies, honestly, they need to do a rebuild. I think they need to trade Ja Morant away personally. I think he needs to get the fuck out of there while he still has a decent while he's still a good player, you know what I mean? He's not gonna win anything in Memphis with Jaren Jackson and Desmond Bain. They're just not good enough to carry the team when he's gone.
He is good, but I mean, like I don't want to say the only thing that he can do is dunk. I mean, that does seem like he's very, very athletic. But I mean, in terms of like getting to the championship, do I see him doing that himself without like a kind of a superstar sidekick as well? I don't really see it there in Memphis. But OKC looks young. They got a lot of energy. They're flying around. They're good on defense. I mean, they're very quick, bro. So I'm interested to see how they do against like one of these more polished teams, like a veteran type of team, like with Golden State. You got Minnesota out there. Um, I mean, there's a lot. Lakers are out, and I think that is a pretty big discussion right there. I tried to get Hunter on. I tried to get Hunter on to, have like we can settle it on stinkbait, but at the same time, he wasn't able to come on. But either way, at the same time, Luca got traded there. Is it true what they say? Is it true what Nico said? He can't play defense. I mean that's the reason that they traded him in the first place, right? Is because
Yeah.
defense wins championships. Then they
That's what
get
they
knocked out
said.
of the first round. I mean,
Well,
I don't know.
and to be fair, I think if the Lakers played anybody else, I think they would have had a better chance to win that. But you're playing
Mm-hmm.
against Anthony Edwards and Julius Randle. Julius Randle didn't do much at the New York Knicks, but dude, that guy can play. And they have Rudy Gobert also. So they played a really good defensive team. And yeah, I will say I agree with the fact that Luka's not the best defender. I mean, he's never been a good defender. He's big, he's slow, like he's not really fast, you know what I mean? And
Yeah, so he's not like able to keep up with. Okay, I can see that. I can see that him being a little bit slow off the step, but he's still a superstar on the other end of the court. On the
yeah.
offensive end. Um, I don't really know much about the Lakers other than Luca and LeBron, but
Mhm.
LeBron, from what I saw, he performed pretty well though. I mean, for his age and everything, taking everything into consideration, how long he's been playing, how old he is.
Mhm.
But at the same time, they did just make a blockbuster trade with Luka, and he still loses in the first round. So I think in terms of what we were talking about in the group chat the other day, just to let everybody know, there was some hasty words being said about LeBron and MJ and another debate like everybody has, I'm sure, in their group chats. But yeah, MJ seems to be the one on top after yet another first round exit. What do you think?
I mean, dude, do I think that if Michael, do I think Michael Jordan, I think he's the best in the stance that he went 6 for 6. And yes, I get it. He before Pimpin got there and before he got Dennis Rodman, like yeah, he struggled a lot, but he was also playing prime time Larry Bird. Yes, the league is much better today. It is 100% much better today. And he's playing against Anthony Edwards and Rudy Gobert, but LeBron doesn't have that killer mentality. That's what I think separates Mike from LeBron. Was Michael would come out and he'd tell you in the pregame, "Oh, you got this fucking guy guarding me, dude. I'm going for 50." And then he would go for 50 points just to back up what he said. Like,
Yeah, but I don't know if it's that he doesn't have that killer mentality. I mean, I guess define killer mentality because I think that like Jordan was just kind of like a more of like a dick, and LeBron's really not a dick at all. I think he just plays basketball. But I mean, I don't know. At the same time, I'm not on the court or anything, but you hear
mhm,
stories about Jordan and trash talking and stuff like that. I
yeah,
mean, I don't really hear the same type of stories whenever we talk about LeBron. You know,
yeah,
uh, I mean, maybe like if it's like a Stephen A. Smith or something like that, but other than that, I don't really hear much.
yeah.
Which, by the way, did you hear Stephen A. Smith said that he was going to run for president?
No, but I heard him say that he would have dropped LeBron's ass if he would have got physical, and I fucking
Ha!
lost my shit.
That's like me saying that like after the fact on Stingbait, for real. Because like during the moment, he did not look like he was about to do anything. You know,
No,
he kind of looked like a bitch. You know, he was looking up and everything. LeBron is just towering over him,
yeah,
screaming at him. I mean, and then he gets on his podcast the next day and then starts talking shit. I get
yeah,
it, being on a podcast and everything. Like, I get it, but made him look more like a bitch. You know.
yeah. No, exactly. Yeah, dude. I mean, I think we've had this conversation before about, especially the Mike and LeBron debate. Dude, it's hard to compare different eras of basketball just because the game has changed so much. But also, like, I take into consideration what was a foul back then and what's a foul today. Bro, Mike would have had so many fucking more points. Honestly, if there was the same foul rules that there are today, like, and this is the point where I think, like, where I get to, and it's like, dude, yeah, LeBron, did he play good for his age? Yeah, he did. I think he only had 2 games where he went over 25 points, which is not ideal when you don't have a second real scorer besides Luka Doncic.
But
Like,
the game, like you said, though, the game has changed a lot, though. I mean, in terms of rules and stuff like that, like
mhm,
there seems to be rule changes every 5 years or something like that. And really, NBA basketball now kind of is annoying to me because they don't call travels, they don't call double
yep,
dribbles, they don't call like 50% of the things that I would get called for in high school basketball
mhm,
does not get called in the NBA. So it's not the same game
right,
in a way, you know? And I
mhm,
really like I don't understand why they do that. I mean, I guess for entertainment purposes,
right,
but if the game is so different from the high school level, just in terms of how it's played and how it's called, you
yeah,
know, it kind of throws me off to the
mhm.
whole thing, you know.
Well, I will
But
say, like, there's been a couple good rules I think that have been added, but then there's also some rules where it's like, dude, like this shit should not even like. Okay, if you're going to the lane right on a fast break and someone fouls the shit out of you, you're wide open in the court. Like, you know you're going to make a layup or you're going to dunk it home. Yeah, clear path foul, let him shoot the 2 free throws. Like, that's understandable. And then the landing in the feet space, if you're where the defender or where the offensive player shot the ball from and you're in where their landing zone
Right.
is. So,
Yeah, I saw
like,
that. I actually just saw that with Jimmy Butler landing on, I think it was Fred Van Fleet,
mm-hmm,
and it to me it didn't look like a foul. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
I'm just like I guess like I understand, but if they don't hit them going up top, then I mean, that's not a foul to me. You know,
Well,
it's like I'm not a ref or anything,
mm-hmm,
but at the same time, me as a fan, I would like to see the same brand of basketball that I see junior high, high school, college. Why does it change all of a sudden in the NBA?
yeah. Well,
It,
it especially to your point, like you were saying, like with the travels and stuff. Like, yeah, that
that's the
shit's
only
like
ones that I have a problem with. Like, I mean, the clear path fouls
carries.
and stuff like that is it carries. Yeah, that's another problem. But the clear path fouls and shit like that, that's perfectly fine. I have no problem with the good ones. But
Mm,
it's clear as day that there is a different brand of basketball that's being played in the NBA. And you can definitely see that. But
well, it's like the same kind of thing, dude. When you think about like with football too, like when we played football, dude, like targeting wasn't a thing, and now it's become more of a thing in high school. But dude, in college and the NFL, they review like every big hit for targeting. Like,
yeah,
dude just
every
didn't get
single
his
one,
shoes knocked off.
not all of them are targets,
Yeah.
you know, and it's like I don't really like the targeting rule either because it comes down to like crucial times that it gets called, and it
Hmm.
changes a game completely. But you'll see another hit that looks exactly like it,
Yeah.
like exact. We're not sponsored by Coors, by the way, but I'll let it slide. But some of the hits though that are just like that hit, you know, that
Mm,
I just watched
yep.
are perfectly fine. You know, it's kind of bullshit. Actually, that makes me want to drink. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna get a drink of beer.
Okay. Anyways, stink bait. You let me know who are y'all thinking is gonna who's gonna win the NBA championship this year. Stink bait. Comment. Drop your
All right,
comments.
Steam Bait
Okay.
fans, thank you. What's
Who's
up? What's
who's
up?
winning? Who's winning? Oh, I was telling Stink Bait. I said, let us know who's winning the NBA Finals this year. Stink Bait. I said, drop it in the comments.
Really, right now, let us know who's going to win this Golden State game tonight. I think
Yeah.
G State, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Houston looks good. Houston looks fast. I think
They're
it
young.
just depends on who brings that energy tonight. You know,
Hmm.
who's it going to be?
Yeah, for sure.
But is
I
it
need.
in Houston? Do you know?
Yeah, it's in Houston because Golden State's a 7 seed. They're the 2 seed.
Right. Yeah. So it's going to be in Houston. I mean, he's done some. Steph Curry's done some nasty work in Houston before. You
Yeah.
remember when he dropped? I think it was Chris
Dang.
Paul.
Oh yeah, it was Chris Paul. No, that was when he was on the Clippers. I thought.
Yeah, I think it might have been. I don't know. I get
Yeah,
mixed up
I don't.
with the highlights and stuff. But I mean, there's been so many. He has gone off. The one
Yeah.
game that I watched that last game because I thought that Golden State had they had a chance to really close out that series right there.
Hmm.
Couldn't come back from that 8 point deficit or whatever. But yeah, Steph Curry was going off. They have some other cats that look pretty good as well. But yeah,
Hmm.
Steph being Steph, being great. I think he's
Hmm.
gonna continue that tonight. And yeah, but
Well,
I don't think he gets any
it,
further though.
right.
I
Yeah.
think this is the end of the line
Mhm.
because they're kind of teetering right now, But I don't know. What do you think? Who do
I
you
mean,
think really has a chance to win it all?
well, to be honest with you, I didn't have much faith of with OKC. Honestly, I thought that Grizzlies series would at least go to like 6 games, and OKC would win like 4-2 or something. Dude, Oklahoma City, like just watching them and how they never lose their composure, how they play the same basketball game every night in and night out. Like they look for the same people to do the same things and they play defense very effectively, like you said. Um, dude, I
But
think
a lot of people are saying that they're young, and
I don't
that's
think
going to
that
catch up to them.
matters. I don't really think that matters, dude. I think if anything, now since they're playing at such like a high level of basketball, they have that confidence in themselves. Like last year, I saw it really kick their ass whenever they had a great season as well, but they just lost it in the playoffs. Like they didn't play very well.
Yeah.
I don't see that really happening, dude. I mean, SGA is a little old. You could consider him to be like the vet of that team. I think he's like in his 7th season in the NBA.
I didn't know that.
But yeah, SGA is a good player. And then you got Chet Holmgren. I don't think any stage is too big for him. He came out and he put buckets on the Grizzlies. And then,
He looks pretty good. I was
well,
not a fan of his whenever he was coming into the NBA. For some
yeah,
reason, I don't know why, but I was hating on him. But I think it was because he just looked weird to me. But
yeah,
he's just like
yeah.
tall and lanky and everything. But I'm here in OKC now, so I got to be a fan. But SGA, I mean, he's very, very good
He's
all
really good.
around. Really, I mean, he's the truth.
He just gets a lot of foul calls. Like they have a really friendly whistle. That's the only thing I could say is they do have a very friendly
I've been
whistle.
hearing that. I've been hearing that a lot. So I'm glad
But
you brought that up.
I don't. The fouls that they get called, you could see it as like when you're a ref on the floor. Like if you didn't see this in slow motion, then you could be like, okay, yeah, that looks like a foul. You know what I mean? It's not anything that's like someone's going up for a shot and someone literally gets the ball slapped out of their hands. It's not anything like that I've seen to my knowledge. But
Yeah.
there's also LeBron fans out there that are like, oh, LeBron has to flop and cry for his fouls, and SGA just gets everything. And it's like, dude, like,
The
what
flopping is very gay. I think that's another thing that has turned me off from the NBA because I really can't even watch the NBA whenever it comes to the regular season. It's just
mm-hmm.
the playoffs that that's whenever it gets interesting. It's the only
Yeah,
time that it's actually enthralling to watch
right.
because they're all actually trying. It doesn't
Mm-hmm.
seem like they're trying like that hard during the season, because they can
Yeah,
take an L. They have 82 games. One
yeah,
L doesn't mean anything. But you take an
right.
L in like college football, that could be the end of the season, or take too many L's in the NFL, that's the end of the season. So I don't know. I like football for that reason. It's more
Mm-hmm.
entertaining for me to watch, but even some of those rules that we were talking about before that keep
Yeah,
getting changed and changed and changed, yeah, it becomes
and
very off-putting.
well, yeah, it is very off-putting. I think for any national sports organization, like, dude, you want to have one in my opinion you want to have one set of rules that is level across it's foundational across everything in the
Yeah,
football organization, for example. Like we don't want to teach kids, okay, dude, you want to really hit someone and like smoke them, go in there and lead and hit them in the chest, like right here. Now in today's NFL, if some kid goes and hits somebody right here, chances they're going to duck to meet them and then they're going to get a targeting penalty.
yeah, but like that's half of it. Like that's half of my issue with it. it's that, and it's the inconsistent calling of that targeting. I mean,
Yeah.
you could have a game changing targeting call on one end of the drive, and then on the other end, somebody gets hit, and that hit looks just like a targeting, and it
Hmm.
doesn't get called, and then that's the game. You know,
Yeah.
they lose, they get fucked. He fumbles it because he gets hit, head on, and there's no call or anything. I mean, it's so inconsistent that I don't think that they should really be calling it.
Yeah.
Unless
Well.
you can have like a clear guideline of
Mhm.
when and where to call targeting. But
Right.
I don't know.
Well, then you also look at things like how pass interference is different in the NFL than it is in CFB. College football, you get a pass interference, it's just a 15-yard penalty. In the NFL, it's spot of the foul. It's
Spotted,
like
yeah.
it's
And
like
they have the 1 foot, 2 foot rule, but I kind of agree with that one. You know,
yeah.
I'm
That
kind of
one's
okay with that
different.
one.
That one's different because you're in two different leagues. Like literally, like in the NFL, you're thinking like, okay, well, for example, we took CD Lamb first round. He should be able to get both of his feet in the bounds when he catches the ball. You
Yeah, yeah.
know?
More often than not, he should be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Does any other sport do that though? Like
Uh,
baseball, do they have like different rules for different divisions, different leagues? Like
no, I'm pretty sure baseball has the same rules actually all the way across uniform. I think when you're in high school, you play less innings, if I'm not mistaken. I think you maybe play 7 innings, or maybe you play 9 innings in high school too. But I know when you're younger, there's like a 7 inning game compared to like playing all nine.
what about
But
bats? What about bats that you can use in baseball?
the only thing that's different is in college and in high school, you can use aluminum bats. And when you get to the
Right.
MLB, you have to use a wooden bat.
Got to use
But,
the wood. So, but I'm okay with that one too. I mean, that's kind of like the 1 foot, 2 foot rule. Going
mhm,
from college to the pros and everything. I'm okay with that. But yeah, I'm thinking soccer, hockey. I don't think that there's any like major rules that stick out to me that completely changed going into the professional league. But I mean,
yeah.
I don't know. What do you think
I don't
about
think there's any.
Shedeur? What do you think about Shedeur, bro? We got to talk about this shit. The draft was crazy. I
Yeah.
mean, it was very, very entertaining the first round, and then you get into the second round, and you're like, okay, Shedeur still hasn't been picked. I thought for sure this was going to be, the round, if anything, and then the next round, and then the next round. It's like, damn, bro, like
I mean,
that
to be
sucks.
honest
But
with you,
he did it himself though.
hmm
Like he
that
sabotaged his image. Nobody
yeah.
else did that. So I mean, I don't know.
I mean, this is the big thing with me that I realized about Shedeur Sanders is, first of all, he has so many fans because his father is Dion, and that's okay. Like I get you can't control that, but his father has also put this image in his head that he Shedeur Sanders is him, and when he gets to the NFL, he's going to get there. And the first year he's there, he's going to turn the Cleveland Browns into the fucking Philadelphia Eagles. And I'm sorry, but that's not going to happen, And
But dude, think about it though. I mean, the QB room that they have right now. I think that a lot of people are discrediting or not even really taking a look at Dylan Gabriel. Dylan
yeah,
Gabriel has a cannon for an arm. He is a lefty, but
hmm
he has a cannon for an arm, and he knows how to run a high-powered offense.
yeah,
Going from UCF, which is a little smaller, then going to OU, obviously, and
hmm
then going to Oregon, and then being the number one team for most of the year,
hmm
losing the playoffs or whatever, but most of the year you're the team to beat.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that he broke the record for fastest ball thrown at the
Hmm.
Senior Bowl,
Yeah.
and I think it was like a 70 mile an hour, football. Obviously, it's pretty damn
Jeez.
fast for a
Yeah.
receiver. Because I saw Shannon questioning his arm strength. I guess
Hmm.
comparing it to Shedeur, and
Hmm.
just comparing and I'm like, dude, you don't want to do that. Like,
Yeah.
that's the one attribute that you don't want to compare
Yeah.
is his arm strength. Because Dylan Gabriel, his arm and his legs, I think would be better than Shedeur, honestly. I mean, think
Well, I
about it.
think I think you have a very good point there. I think the thing I think that people see with the issue with Dylan Gabriel is that he's small. And when you're that, and not
Yeah,
that that doesn't mean he can't be successful, but when you're that small, you're a lot more prone to injury than when you're a little taller and a little more lean. You know what I mean? Like, and not that he's fat, because Dylan Gabriel is very lean, but he's also 6 foot. I think like 200 pounds, and I think Shador is like
he's a lot.
6.
He's got the size. He's got the size for the job for sure.
Mm,
He does. I mean, Shedeur does have he is good,
mhm,
and if he goes under the right coaching and develops that skill,
mhm.
then he'll be very special. But is he going to be willing to take that coaching from somebody else other than
Yeah.
Dion? Because
Well,
again, that's been his only coach, you know. So
I think what happens in Cleveland this year is they paid Deshaun Watson way too much money. I think
yeah, I don't
regardless of
even.
what Yeah, I think regardless of what happens, Deshaun is probably gonna be the starter realistically. They paid him that much money, or they're gonna give him a chance at least. And then they're gonna say, all right, who's better between Dylan Gabriel,
Wait.
Shador Sanders? And then I think from there they decide they're like, all right, well, Dylan had a better camp and is looking better than Shador has. So we're gonna start Shador, or we're gonna start Dylan, and then they end up doing something with Shador, because I don't think you get rid of Deshaun Watson because how much you pay him, and you know nobody's gonna take that contract, right? But hypothetically, they have 4 starting quarterbacks in their room with Dylan Gabriel, Joe Flacco, even though he's old as hell, Deshaun Watson, and Shador Sanders. So it's like I don't know what
Hey,
Cleveland was thinking.
so listen. So I just looked this up. Deshaun Watson is not currently healthy. He re-injured his Achilles tendon and underwent surgery, which could sideline him for the entire 2025 NFL season. So
Mm,
he looks like he's going to be on the bench, injured,
yeah,
and they have Joe Flacco right behind him, which he's like 40,
yeah,
mid 40s at this point. I mean, I don't. He's not bad. I mean, he knows exactly what the job is and he knows how to do it. But I mean,
mm,
he's not. Is he the best man for the job? I guess. I don't know if I would say that. At this point, whenever you're trying to build a team, you're trying to build a culture
mm,
and really have whichever quarterback it's going to be, Dylan Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders, whoever
mm,
steps up is going to be the future of that team. So,
right,
me personally, I think that they're a lot more excited about Dylan
yeah,
Gabriel. Personally, they
yeah,
drafted him before, and even whenever they drafted Shedeur, the GM, the Browns GM, was not happy about
yeah,
that. Like he didn't seem excited or anything, you know. So, I mean, with that being said, if if he's not excited about that, I feel like they'll use him as like trade value.
mm,
And in my head, if the Steelers end up going with Aaron Rodgers at
yeah.
quarterback, Aaron
Well, they
Rodgers
got
is
Will Howard.
like, oh, they got Will Howard. I didn't even think about that. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't
Yeah.
even know. I don't even know where Shador goes. I was gonna say that he would go to the Steelers. They would trade him
Mm-hmm.
there, and then just use it as trade value, but I
Yeah, dude.
guess just wait and see, like whatever like team ends up needing a quarterback, and then just going from there. But you got to think about it. How bad did those like pre-draft interviews go? You know, like
Well,
what did he do in those for
so
it
I
to go
saw
so
this.
bad?
Actually, I saw this video on Reels the other day, and I mean it's Reels, so there's no telling how accurate it is.
Yeah.
But I saw this video, and it was this guy, and he was talking about Shedeur Sanders and how his draft stock like fell so drastically. And what he was talking about was he was like, all these, he didn't go and he didn't perform at the combine. He just was like, y'all already saw what I did. And if y'all want someone to
Right.
change y'all's franchise's outcome, y'all need to draft Shedeur Sanders. And a lot of NFL GMs saw that and they were like, take this guy off of our draft board. Like, we don't even want this guy because he's A, arrogant, B, he didn't go out and do the combine like everybody else did. I mean, and then another piece you have to take into consideration is you're going to be dealing with Deion Sanders too. Like, you're not just dealing with Shedeur, you're dealing with Deion the entire time that you have Shedeur there because he's going to be calling and being like, hey, I don't know what the fuck y'all are thinking. But y'all need to try to run something like this with Shedeur. Like that's how he's going to flourish in your environment. And it's like when you think about that, and you're an NFL GM, do you want Deion Sanders calling your offensive coordinator and telling you what you need to run and what you need to do to be successful? Like, to me, that's something that
Yeah,
I'm.
it sounds like a headache waiting to happen for sure.
Yeah,
So no,
I
I
think what.
mean, I understand. I understand why they like every single team.
Mm,
Well, honestly, whenever I was watching it, I was like, damn, every team passed up on him. Like, no team was like, we'll take him as a backup. But at the same time, think about that. Think about him as a backup.
yeah.
Like, bro, I mean, he would be annoying as shit. Like, you can't have
Hmm.
him. Like, he would be thinking that he should be the starter the entire time, and he would be
Hmm.
acting like that and not playing his role as a backup, as a backup QB, trying to
Yeah.
learn and develop. Now, I could be just talking shit. I don't know
Yeah.
Shedeur or anything, but from what I do see, what he lets me see, what in interviews and
Hmm.
on social media and everything like that, if I'm a GM, I probably wouldn't take him either.
Yeah.
So I completely understand it. Now let's talk Jalen Milroe going to the Seattle Seahawks.
Dude.
I feel like it's like a coin flip. It's like a
Yeah.
coin flip on like heads. He could be really fucking good. Tails, bust. So it's like a 50-50 split. I
Hmm.
think that he has the right mindset in mind. Like he's a military kid. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
I like that about him for sure. But his accuracy is atrocious. It really
Yeah.
is. Right now,
Well.
he's just got to work on that. He can get better.
Hmm.
His legs are very good, and
Yep.
his deep ball is good as fuck. But
Yep.
whenever it comes to the nickel and dime game,
Hmm.
that bitch can go for six the other way very quickly. And we saw
Yep.
that against OU. So I
I
like
think
him.
he's.
I hope he does
Yeah.
good. But I don't know. What do you think? What do you think?
I think for Jalen Milroe, you saw a lot of his struggles, especially this last year. Everybody had him as like one of the Heisman favorites because he was such a good player the year before, but he still had that same struggle. He's never been a really good short check down guy or a real good intermediate passing guy. Like he's deep ball or he's running the ball for 50 yards and getting a touchdown. Like
Which
in.
works in college and high school and stuff like that, but
Mhm.
it gets more complicated in the NFL.
Well, and also one aspect I will say that I really enjoy about Jalen Milrow, or just like hearing about like his interviews and stuff with other people, is like how humble he is. He's
Mm-hmm.
like he tells people he's like, well, you're taking a chance on everybody in the NFL. He's like, I know my inconsistencies and what I need to improve, and he said that's what I've been working on, the whole time. Like that's where I think the difference is between Shedeur and then you got Jalen Milrow here. Jalen Milrow is going to come out and tell you how it is. He's going to be like, look, dude, I suck at the short game. I can't. I struggle with throwing slants accurate, and my intermediate routes, they're not that great. But I can throw you a deep ball all day, so I don't need to work on that. Let's get together and let's work on all my short, quick game. That's just one quick step of the wrist. Like I'm throwing the ball out of here. Like let's perfect something or
Yeah.
get something better than having something perfect and the other thing be absolutely god awful. You
Yeah.
know what I
I
mean?
mean, he has a lot of upside, to his game. But going back to Shador real quick, and just like I guess the how surprised everybody was at where he got picked. He got picked before Will Howard, who
Yep.
won the national championship, by the way. The national
Hmm.
championship quarterback, he got picked before him. Which speaking of him, I think that he has a chance of being very good at the Steelers. I
Dude,
honestly
I think
do.
I think he's gonna be like Roethlisberger. As soon as I saw that the Steelers had drafted him, I was like, they just picked up the next Ben Roethlisberger because now he has George Pickens, DK Metcalf, and he has who's their running back now? They got rid of Najee Harris. Their running back is
Did they get
oh
rid of Najee Harris? I didn't know that. Where'd he go?
yeah, he went to the Chargers, bro. Najee Harris is on the Chargers now.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know that at all, dude. Not. Whoa. Okay. All right. Najee Harris to the Chargers. So that means the Chargers are looking pretty good. I mean, d well, actually, I take that back because I don't think that Justin Herbert is that guy.
I think he's good. I mean,
But
his
I don't think he's
problem
that
though,
guy. I don't think that he is
yeah,
the guy to win it all, like or win the conference.
he plays in a
Like
very tough division. To be clear, I mean, you're right. I don't think he's on. I don't think he's as good as Bo Nix, and I don't think he is. I
really.
know for a. I don't
Bo
think he's
Nix.
as good as
All
Bo
right, I got
Nix.
yeah. Bo Nix is pretty good. He's got a lot to prove, though. He's got a lot to
The
prove.
the problem that I see with Justin Herbert is he makes a lot of bonehead decisions. Like trash time. Like it's like supposed to be like prime time, like I'm driving to make like a comeback. He makes a lot of
Yeah,
those mistakes where he throws a ball where he is not open or he's double covered. Like
right.
and
Okay.
not that he's not good, but
But he's got all the talent in the world. I mean, he's got the size,
mhm,
he's got the strength, he's got the. He can run a little bit. He can get outside of the pocket, but more than anything, he's got a lot of arm strength. But you're saying
mhm,
his decision making is
yeah.
that's where he fucks up at. Yeah, I can agree with that for sure. Now, Bo Nix, that's a guy that can get out of the pocket and launch that ball where it needs to be. He can make some big plays happen.
Mhm.
Do you think that he's the franchise guy at Denver?
I think that Sean Payton drafted who he wanted because he made a big deal about that with Russ whenever he had to deal with Russ for a year. He was like, I didn't pick this guy. Like, I don't even want this fucking guy to be my quarterback, which is fine. I understand, like, to some extent, but he was also
Well,
very childish about it.
Russ was kind of fucking. I mean, Russ is. I don't know. I think there's got to be something behind the scenes with that guy.
Yeah.
Because I feel like teammates and coaches talking about somebody like that too. It's there's got to be something about that guy's personality that just seems super fake, which it seems like
Hmm.
from what we see.
Yep.
But I mean, I genuinely wonder how his teammates feel about him, especially if he has Sean Payton talking about him like that. But
Yeah.
Bo Nix though he was the chosen quarterback of Sean Payton. I like Sean
Hmm.
Payton too. He's a good guy.
Yeah. I think Bo could definitely be the Broncos franchise quarterback. I think Sean Payton has to do a better job, in their GM, John Elway. They have to do a better job, and they have to say, look, dude, if we want the Denver Broncos to win another Super Bowl, we have to get another wide receiver that goes with Cortland Sutton. Our defense was fantastic. And I
Yeah.
didn't mind the first round pick of Jahdae Barron because there were a ton of wide receivers that were left. But then we go on and we still don't draft a wide receiver or a running back, and you look at it and it's like, so we're just
Also, they
all
didn't
in
get
on
any
defense.
receiver. They didn't get any
I think
receiver.
they ended up picking some receiver like super late, but I mean, when you're that late in the draft, you're not really expecting them to turn out and be starters the first year.
Well, we might have gotten something
Who did
in
y'all
the first,
pick up again?
at least in the first round. I mean, I think honestly, almost all of our picks were pretty fucking solid. I mean, you
Yeah.
have Jahad Campbell in the first round,
Mm-hmm.
Alabama linebacker, and that guy is super fucking fast, bro. I mean, he gets to the ball quick, like
Mm-hmm.
super super quick. I was just looking at a couple of his plays that they were playing, like highlights on draft night, and I was like, damn, this guy's flying around. He looks really
Yeah.
good. So yeah, Jahad Campbell. I think he's gonna be another probably like outside linebacker for us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then we got like a safety from Texas. I don't know how to
Yeah.
pronounce his name, but he looks pretty
Mustafa,
good.
I think. Malik Mustafa, is that who you got?
Yeah, yeah, I think it's something like
Yeah.
that. Something like that. But he looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't watch Texas to the extent where I know like a lot of their defensive players or anything like that. But
Mm-hmm.
I know some of their offensive players, like say Golden.
Yeah.
Golden. He got picked up to the Green Bay Packers in Green Bay, and that was probably one of the like best draft like moments that I've probably ever seen. I loved the speech that he gave and everything, the fan
Mm-hmm.
energy. It was awesome. It was awesome to see. For you know,
Yeah. Well, I think the thing that's like the best thing about the NFL draft is, we get to see a lot of the raw emotion. Like this has been these guys' dream for years, is to grow up and to one day be good enough to call themselves a National Football League player. And he got that chance, and I think that was a great pickup for the Green Bay Packers because their wide receiver room, they have good wide
they
receivers, but no one's the
but not
best.
that
You know
guy,
what I
not
mean?
the key guy like for them. Matthew
Mm-hmm.
Golden is a great pickup for them for sure. I mean, he's I liked him a lot at Houston before he went to Texas, but yeah, he's going to do good there. Um, One guy that we haven't talked about is going to be Ashton Genty. How good is that guy going to be? I think him at Oakland is going to be a little bit challenging. I don't think he's going to have like one of the best lines in the NFL or anything. But at the same time, he didn't have the best line at Boise either. But
Yeah,
he wasn't playing elite
NFL
level
players.
competition. Yeah, exactly. So I don't know. There's a lot to see. There's a lot to evaluate. Should he have been picked that high, like in the top five? What do you think?
I think didn't he go six? I
Was it
think he
six?
went
Okay, yeah.
six.
We'll say
Yeah, yeah,
top six.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, I don't know, man. It's hard because the season that he had, he really showed you like how versatile and how good he was. Ashton to me is a player with the right line and with the right playmakers around him, he can be very deadly.
They
But
have Pete Carroll now, right?
yeah, and he's a very run heavy coach, which is what makes me a little concerned about it, is because he's going to be his first year, so he's going to be a rookie, and he's going to be getting the ball a ton. So it's like,
And he already got a
you know,
ball. He got the ball a ton in college. They basically gave him the ball every single time. So he's already got a lot of runs under his belt,
Mhm.
going into a franchise where that's probably going to be like their main game, which they still have Geno Smith. So I mean,
Yeah.
I still like
Well, they got
Geno.
Tyler Lockett now too, and Brock Bowers. So it's not like their pass game is like dead, but
Yeah,
I mean
I
they
think
don't
they
have
need
any
one more guy.
noticeable. Yeah, they don't have any like firepower wide receivers out there to where you're like, fuck, I gotta play cover two or have somebody over the top of this guy. You know, they're gonna be putting whenever people play Ashton, they're gonna be putting 7, 8 people in the box because they're like, we can run man on their receivers. They're not that good, you know.
Right? Yeah, they're manageable for sure.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly. Um, I don't know about being a top 10 draft pick, honestly, and even in my opinion. I think if he was still available that he would have went to the Cowboys. Um,
Yeah, exactly. But
but the Cowboys are also
they
fucking
needed
idiots. So.
they needed that O line,
Yeah.
that replacement O line for the first round. I don't remember anybody else that they got, but nothing like worrisome. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, even that
Well,
lineman. I mean, he's good, but he ain't gonna stop Jalen Carter or anything. So I mean,
actually
I
I
think it'll
seen a
be all right.
stat. I seen a stat. I think it was like he hadn't given up a sack in 2 years, I think, at Alabama. Like his last 2 years he hadn't given up a sack at all. The last sack that he gave up in Alabama was to Jalen Carter.
Yeah, it was to Jalen Carter at Georgia. Yeah. 2 years ago,
So
whenever he was at Georgia.
yeah. So it's like, well, we got to play this fucking guy twice now. You couldn't hold him in college. Can you hold him in the NFL? Because I'm gonna probably wager that you can't probably hold him in the NFL.
Man, I'm just sitting here kind of wondering what the hell the Cowboys are. I mean, I don't care. Like, I'm good with them sucking. You know, I'm totally fine with it. I'm used to it at this point. But it's
Yeah.
like, dude, I mean, do y'all plan on making any changes? Are y'all gonna make any moves? Wide receiver
It,
wise or quarterback wise, really? I mean, is Dak the guy after 9 years or whatever? Like in the NFL, is this the guy that's going to get you to the promised land, or should you burn his ass? You know, I mean,
well, this is the thing I think. I think the Dallas Cowboys, we got Joe Milton now as our backup. He was okay at Tennessee. Like, yeah, he
oh, I
was
did
pretty
hear
good.
about that. Yeah, he's got an
Yeah,
arm, brother.
he was pretty good at Tennessee, like don't get me wrong, but do I think Joe Milton is the quarterback that takes Dak Prescott's place and takes us to the Super Bowl, dude? There's no way in hell I see that happening. But then you look at it and it's like, well, we had the opportunity to pick up multiple different quarterbacks in the draft for in case something happens to Dak again. Lord forbid he gets injured, which I'm sure is going to happen again at some point in his career. He's going to get injured. He's going to be out for the rest of the season again, and we're going to be stuck with either Joe Milton or Trey Lance. And Trey Lance is fucking dog shit. He was horrible last year when he had to step in and play.
Yeah, Trey Lance wasn't. He's never. I was very like, and he's like one of the biggest busts because he was drafted high by the 49ers, wasn't he? Like, he was like one
Mm-hmm.
of the key guys, and then Brock Purdy beat him out. So I mean, yeah,
Yep.
this guy's not. He's whatever that North Dakota State like D2. It's not D2, but it's like
It's
he's like a
NCAA.
different.
It's NCAA Division 1 like level 2, so it's not like you're
Right.
playing Power Five
Yeah.
conference schools. Yeah.
So I mean, he was all right, but he's not NFL. He's not an NFL guy. Now you got man. I was just about to bring up something. What do you think about like uh what quarterback should they have picked up in the draft if they were going to go QB? Cowboys,
Mm,
Cowboy wise, because I think Will Howard would have been that guy. I think he
yeah.
fits the Cowboys culture more than anybody else that I saw in there. Maybe
I
Jackson
mean,
Dart, but Jackson Jackson Dart going to the Giants. Did you see that coming?
Honestly, I thought the Giants were gonna go with after Abdul, and I saw that they traded up. I was like, I think they're gonna take Shedeur here.
That's
I
what I
was
was
like,
thinking
I'm
too.
almost for sure they're gonna take Shedeur here because everybody talked about how much they loved the workout that they got with them and everything else. So I was like, I could see that. But then they took Jackson Dart. I actually like Jackson Dart. Is he the best guy in the world? I don't know about that. He's a bit of a character, but do I think he could be a good quarterback in the NFL? Yeah, for sure. Like I think he is one of those quarterbacks like I was talking about. He makes a lot of bonehead crap time. Like it's prime time. Like it's game time now. We got 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and we throw a pick, fucking 60 yards down the field to triple coverage to Florida. Like you got
To
to clean up those
Florida,
mistakes
do
and
you
you can
do you
block.
remember the Kentucky game where he threw 3 interceptions in a row, like in the fourth quarter?
No, I
Did
wish
you not
about it
watch
though.
that, bro? That's what I watched, bro. That is like one of the only games that I watched completely of Ole
Mm-hmm.
Miss because it was right before a OU game. But yeah, it was Ole Miss in Kentucky. This guy threw like 3 picks back to back. Like I think one of them got called back, so like a flag on the play. So they got another play. He throws another pick. It's going the other way, and then the next drive, he throws another pick. It's the end of the game, and it's just over. And it's just like, dude, like this guy's a senior. They're talking about him being like one of those guys, and I'm like, dude, no, like this guy's not. If he goes to an NFL team like the Giants, I
Mm-hmm.
personally think that he's going to be another Zach Wilson.
Yeah, I can see that for sure. 1,000%, I can see that. I like Jackson Dart. That doesn't mean I think he's gonna be like
I
I
mean, yeah,
think.
I hope the guy does well. I hope he proves me wrong and he's that guy. But just from
Mhm.
whatever I saw, the game that I saw in college, I was like, this guy looks like he gets flustered, and after he throws a pick on a big play, I think it's hard for him to get back in the zone and really
Yeah.
continue playing. So
Mhm.
that's how I feel about it. But we'll see. We'll best wishes to him for sure. Looks like he's got the starting job anyways. The Giants saw
Yeah.
something that I didn't see, so we'll
Well,
see.
yeah, I don't know. I think it can be successful, but me being 1,000% honest with you, I think going back to the Jalen Milrow conversation that we were having, I think he's gonna be the next Jalen Hurts, bro. To be honest with you, he's big, he's strong, he's got a. The difference between him and Jalen is Jalen has much better quick game. His intermediate, his short routes are a lot better than what Jalen's are. But if Jalen can go in and clean that up, I can see him being a player like Jalen Hurts and
I can see
balling
that.
out.
I think that's a good comparison, but it's just so many things have to happen, and because I have to admit myself, Jalen Hurts did, even though like whenever he first got drafted in, the situation wasn't
Mm-hmm.
perfect, but Howie Roseman at the Eagles made shit happen. Brought in AJ Brown, brought in Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goddard, and then Jahan Dotson. I mean, bro, like built a Saquon Barkley built a super team around his quarterback, and then we just won a Super Bowl. So it's like I can definitely see the same type of thing happening for Jalen Milrow, but
Mm-hmm.
again, he's got to find the right spot, the right team, the right management, and things just have to go his way,
Dude,
But
but
he's
he
good
low
though.
key might have that, dude. You think about Seattle's roster now, bro. They got even if Jalen. So if Jalen Milrow does start, if he doesn't, his first year, cool. Learn from Sam Darnold and let Sam Darnold start. And then the second year, you let Jalen start. So Jalen would learn from throwing to Cooper Cup because he's still there. Cooper Cup
Yep.
got traded to Seattle. Then you got Jackson Smith and Jigba. yeah, you lost DK, and you don't really have like a huge down the play like receiver, but you got two very reliable receivers in JSN and in fuck
I think
and
they, I
Cooper
think
Cup.
they, I think they need like a tight end or something like that, right? I mean, I don't know. I don't know who
Mm,
they have right now. Maybe they have somebody that they can work with, but yeah, I mean, I'm interested to see how that offensive coordinator works with Jalen and how that offense is ran. I think it's gonna
yeah.
be interesting. I think he's gonna be an exciting player to watch if he stays healthy and
Hmm.
can really find some space. If he finds space, he's got speed, bro. Like he's gonna
Yeah.
be fun to watch. He's gonna be really really fun to watch. But we'll see how they
Well,
do, man. I think best
I do
quarterback.
have
Who's the best quarterback in the draft though? Who's gonna have the best
this
career?
draft.
We'll end with that. Yeah.
Dude, a part of me really wants to say Cam Ward, but I don't think I can say that, dude, just because the fact of like he's never really played any real competition all through college. Like, yes, he has a great college career and he has great stats. And he looks really good. Like
He's got
he
a great
looks like a
story, being a zero
yeah.
star and then going all the way
Mhm.
to the first
I
first
just
round draft pick. That's great.
I think personally, I think the best NFL quarterback that comes from this draft is, call me crazy, but I think it's Will Howard, dude. And that's
I
just
don't
the way I
know.
feel.
He's got size. He's got. I think he needs to work on his arm and his accuracy a little bit, but I think
Mhm.
decision making wise, he's a pretty smart guy. And I think I might agree with you on that one. Um, I have a feeling that Dylan Gabriel can really do something, though. Now,
Yeah.
I kind of hope that the Browns are like, all right, fuck it, we'll go with Shedeur, trade Dylan Gabriel somewhere, and then Dylan Gabriel goes like off like in Indianapolis or something like that. Like
Right.
just just somewhere else. But I don't know. It's a long shot. You even got Quinn Ewers going over there to the Dolphins. I think he's going to be backing up. You know,
Tua.
Tua, and at the same time, Tua can go down at any time, bro. One more big
Yeah, I think.
hit, and that could be it. And he's prone to those
Mhm.
hits. He,
Yeah.
he he tends to take those hits. So Quinn needs to work hard and be prepared for that. But I think I got to agree with you on this one too. I think that after Aaron Rodgers plays for a year or two more, Will Howard eventually comes in, and
Mhm.
I think they add one or two more receivers in the meantime. Or actually, they have DK Metcalf and
George
George
Pickens.
George Pickens. So I don't know, man.
And,
I think that could be the quarterback. Will Howard, national championship quarterback. He's gonna be. He's gonna have DK and George Pickens. It's gonna be
mhm.
dangerous for sure. But we'll have to see. He's won one championship, so can he win another one?
Mhm.
I don't know if they'll get that far, but at least one
Yeah.
game into the playoffs would be better than anything. So
Well, I think the big thing that like makes me think it could be Will Howard is his size. Dude is huge and he's pretty strong and he's pretty athletic for how big he is. You know what I mean? So it's not like, you get out here and you watch his tape and you're like, "Oh, dude, this guy he's he really struggles in a lot of categories." Like, yeah, like you said, he could get better with his throwing arm, like his power down the field and his accuracy. Like I think every quarterback can, but like when you look at Will Howard and you look at like how he played, he's a game managing quarterback. Like
yeah.
he doesn't make a whole lot of mistakes, and he's very consistent and precise, and he looks the same almost every
Now,
single week.
now there is one thing that you do got to take into consideration. He had a
Mhm.
really good team around him.
Yeah.
Like
No,
he
that's
had
1000% true.
Yeah, he had some of the best receivers in the nation that he was throwing it to, and he had
Mhm.
Quinshon Judkins to be able to run for him as well. So it's like he had a lot of help, yes, but under the right team, under the right management, if the Steelers do what they need to do and put him
Mhm.
in the best position possible, then he's going to be a special quarterback for sure. This new era,
Well,
man. This new era is going to
yeah.
be interesting because the
I'm
old
ready
era is
for
over.
fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fantasy's going to be that's going to be fun for sure. I think that if we can get everybody to actually pay on time, then we can get like an actual pool, get an actual
Yeah.
trophy and everything, you know. But I think like half of the people paid last time.
Really?
So yeah,
Damn, dude,
I think
I paid
Keenan
your
got
cousin.
like, yeah. But I mean, fuck him. I paid him too, but fucking dick. He doesn't even want to come on the podcast. But
Why
I
not?
mean, he's camera shy. You know, he's a little bitch. You know, but it's all good.
It's
It's
like
all
you're
good.
talking. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I hear
But
you.
but it's really just like a FaceTime call. You know,
Yeah.
that's all it is. That's all you got to think of it
Mhm.
as. You know, and then everything is
Yeah.
good. So
Well, and also, like, I feel like a lot of the conversation is just natural. We're just talking about shit that we love and, like,
yeah,
sports and, like, just different kind of things, you know what I mean? So it's not like it's any kind of a forced conversation that's weird.
yeah. So
But,
real quick,
mhm.
who's winning the NBA championship? I say OKC. Oh,
I,
yay! See,
this
I think we
guy.
got it, man, for sure. I think it's gonna be a party in downtown Oklahoma City, baby.
Well,
What
if
do you
it
think?
is, I might have to come join you.
You should,
But
you should, you should come for the parade, man.
dude, I would definitely come for the parade if OKC wins. I think though Boston might get another championship. To be honest with you,
There's no
they're
fucking
so
way.
good, dude. They're so cold. Like,
Jason Tatum sucks, bro.
yeah, but Jalen Brown
I'm
doesn't
sorry. I'm
fucking
sorry.
suck.
No, I don't even really fucking watch him, but I mean,
I don't
I've
like
watched
Jason Tatum either, but
Jalen Brown
Jalen
is.
Brown is cold.
I think Jalen Brown's kind of annoying. I liked him before, and then I actually started watching like interviews of him, and he was just wearing like weird shit. So I was like, "No, this guy's gay." But I mean, I don't know. He seems
Oh, this
okay.
guy's gay.
He's a good he's a good ball player for sure. But he
Yeah,
wears weird East Coast type of clothing. I think East Coast
yeah,
and West Coast are like very weird. You can get very weird in the West Coast and very weird in the East Coast. I like to stay in the middle, you know?
yeah.
That's where it's
Hmm.
you're not too gay. You stay right in the middle. You go too far right, a little gay. You go too far left, you're a little gay. So
Right.
you gotta stay in the middle. But that's why I say Oklahoma City is gonna win the NBA championship. But you say Boston, so I'll keep my eyes out for that. Tonight is going to be the Golden State Warriors taking on the Houston Rockets. And I do not know exactly who's going to win this one. But if I had to make my bet, it's very hard to bet against Steph Curry. But these cats are very young and they seem pretty
Hmm.
hungry. They have some leadership and, Fred Van Fleet. He went off in the 3-point game last game, and I guess like I'm kind of asking myself, is Fred Van Fleet gonna go off in the 3-point game again in this game, or is he gonna struggle? Um, I want to put my money on him struggling and the Golden State
Mhm.
Warriors winning tonight
Yeah.
because the Golden State Warriors have so many players, so many different shooters that can play. I mean, just
Mm.
Steph and Jimmy Butler on the same court. I mean, Jimmy Butler was going off too. You know,
Uh-huh.
I mean,
Dude,
it would go either way.
I think if Jimmy and Steph play like to their full potential, like they are true NBA veterans, like they've been playing this shit for 10 I think Steph's been in the league like 15 years plus now. Dude, if
Yeah,
they come out and they play the same way that they can play, like to their fullest potential, I think there's no way that the Golden State Warriors lose this series. Next series is a different story. I don't think anybody, honestly, I don't know if anybody even from the West beats Minnesota with how good they played. Defensively and offensively, like, it's hard to see that. And I like OKC, but
we're gonna revisit and do another episode whenever it comes to the next series and everything. But I seriously think that Minnesota can be taken down, but I don't know. They have a lot of threats. Anthony Edwards looks really good, but um, yeah, I don't know. Golden State's Golden State. I think that would be it's going to be an interesting matchup, but got to get through tonight first. I think they're playing right now, right? Or do they
they're about to play in 15 minutes is when they start.
15 minutes? Okay, alrighty. Well,
Yeah.
I guess we'll go ahead and get that set up and everything, and then we will continue this in the next series. So starting probably next week sometime, we'll do another episode and we'll go from there. Sound good, brother?
Sounds good. Sounds good, bro.
Alrighty. Thank you guys so much for joining us. Leave a like, a comment. Be sure to subscribe. I think I should have said that in the beginning. But yeah, Stinkbait TV episode 16. Let's fucking let's fucking go, bro. All right. Thanks, man.
All right. Yeah, for sure. I'll catch you later, Rick.
All right. See you later, bro.